Hello everyone and welcome back to more 50 Shades of Graytall. This is Catcon1 here and we are on map 5, Concrete Flagellation, which was designed by Quakis, and I will disclose I am not blind to this level. This is one of the levels I cherry picked to play back in 2015 when this WAD was released. I do, however, remember it was very challenging and ultra-violence without secrets, so hopefully I'll stumble across a couple of the secrets. This is the first DooM level that Quakis ever publicly released or made, was in this community project, and he has a website that did level reviews for a whole bunch of games, although it hasn't been updated recently, but it's called the Abandoned Workshops. And in fact he's only made 2 DooM levels that I know of, but let's get going with this one, which is the first of the 2 chrono in terms of when it was designed. Okay, this is another level. Well, just to point out the observation, we have every allowed texture visible right from the beginning. Fire blue in the upper building, the sky, gray tall and door track for the stairs, and one allowed flat on the floor. And I'm guessing these are supposed to be crates of some kind. I guess it works as a makeshift crate. And right off the bat, I'm going to agree with Ryath on something here, or digitaleidoscope, as he comments under. I love the lighting work in this level. Those just beautiful shadow work to make sure it's all good looking. Especially in the outdoor area, there's a whole lot of attention being paid to shadows. I can see it already. Like the taller crate has a bigger shadow. Now, given it's sort of nighttime, that is a little curious, but if it adds to the look of the level, I'm not gonna complain about it. Well, yeah, I seem to remember that closet trap. Oh, well, Elmo help a little bit. I remember with time, this one gets challenging from it being one of the levels I cherry picked to play. And by the way, don't worry, I didn't cherry pick some of the epics like map 6, map 8, and map 10, for instance. And I certainly haven't beaten the last level on ultra violence. I've beaten it on the lower skill. Well, actually not the last level, but the last level of the main set, Time of Death level. Same with Ribik's level. I believe I did cherry pick play that one and helped me plenty, but I did not beat it on Ultraviolence. Okay, that's a very interesting use of Fire Blue to make a blue key doll. It's like the same little bit of Fire Blue repeated over and over again from left to right. I wonder, it probably took, I was going to say I wonder how many sectors or lines that took, but I could probably count it if I was able to pause the game and count how, no, even if I pause the game it keeps animating. If I could count the number of blinking red dots, that's probably however the number of sectors and line depths it took to make. I wonder what little piece of Fire Blue quakis ripped to get that effect. I mean, given that quakis had not even made a level for DooM before, let alone a level for a limitation project such as this, or at least not a publicly released level I know of, that's pretty clever use of the limitation to mark a blue key doll. And as I mentioned, quakis seems in no hesitation to bring on some difficulty. Also, the exceptional lightning work, as I mentioned. So that's pretty clearly going to be a tripwire, probably. Yep. But I would like to be able to get, is there a way I can get the med kit? Oh, yep. I jump on this one, then this one. Oh, no. Oh no, it's just a use button to bring down the med kit. Not a tripwire at all. I guess that's what the door track is out to mark, is to distinguish a lift. But this lift has the Fire Blue on it because it's activated by the Fire Blue tripwire here. Or shadow work in the exterior. Okay, this I remember being a very nasty trap with the super shotgun back there. Of course, hopefully I'm a little better playing DooM than I was in 2015. Try to get a little better over time. Yup, it's the pain elementals and Keiko demons that really make this trap. I do seem to have some little bit better movement skills than I remember having them though, and I also got away from that lock end, which thankfully doesn't last too long. Except I just saw an ouch vial. The unmistakable flames of an ouch vial. I definitely say this level is challenging, but more in my comfort zone than I remember it being. Which I think makes it an all-round excellent level. If not super remarkable for that many things, but certainly well done and a welcome addition to the project, and especially as a debut map of its author, or at least a debut public map. He'd been reviewing stuff for quite a long while. He had released a Duke Nukem 3D map called The Flaming Shipwreck right around the time this WAD was released. Okay, the blue door was memorably marked by that repeated fire blue texture. I think Steve, if he's watching, might be a little disappointed that I talk about this level being tough and haven't even managed to get pelted for a while. I guess it just goes to show I'm not the same player I was in 2015, and I thought I was a reasonably good player already in 2015. Oh yeah, that trap. Okay. Can I even begin to... I can tell the bottom portion is fire blue. I can't tell what the top portion is at all. I'm guessing it's a little bit of gray. It's a bunch of Graytall stripes lined up. But that is like... But then also how it's... What is the part that looks like the level? Because that is definitely an incredibly cool imitation of a real existing switch using the limitation, and I would not mind if someone with more skill in an editor than me looked up how this thing was done. Because that's certainly one of the most impressive pieces of makeshift aesthetic I've seen so far. Yeah, of course it can't animate quite like a regular Switch. Because believe it or not, as much as believable as it is to look like a regular Switch texture, it is not in fact a regular Switch texture. It can't be. The project doesn't allow it. Well, I've got all my kills. It's just, yep, the blue door and the exit pad. That level was just all round very solid in my opinion. Actually better than I remembered, and see Quakis as the author on the screen now. Maybe it's because it was not too beyond my difficulty range for whatever reason. I thought I had it in. I thought I had just about everything I have now in me in 2015, but maybe I didn't. I might even call that my favorite level so far, although it probably won't last very long. But I think Quakis did a pretty smashing job with the limitation to make a small to medium sized level that's reasonably challenging and has some very impressive looks. And wow, that switch and using the fire blue like that to mark the blue door, that's some new firsts that I hadn't seen in the prior map. Now, we are not in this video going to go on to what Ryath considers Did I say Ryath when I should have said quakis some prior time? I can't remember now. Sorry if I did. We are not in this video going to go on to what Ryath calls the first truly epic map of 50 Shades of Graytall, that being Noisy Velvet's map 6, Count Dracula's Castle, presumably a pun on Dracula. But what I am going to do is play the one other map that Quakis has publicly released for DooM, and it is in fact also a level I have played before. In fact, more recently than Concrete Flagellation. This level is called Withering Graves and was just released as a standalone in April of 2017. And this level has a little bit of a place because it was the very first level I picked to play after my mom passed away. So that was 18 months ago, and I wasn't doing live commentary at the time. So now I'm just going to, because it works nicely, to do a Quakis double feature, which, at least for now, is going to be the only Quakis DooM maps I ever played, because it's the only one once he has released publicly. Revisit this map with some live commentary now. So of course, just from the very beginning, you can probably figure out why I picked this as the first map to play at the time. It should be kind of obvious. It seems like in this case, the floor stands out by having a lot of varied textures as opposed to a lot of shadows. Well, obviously in 50 Shades of Graytall, the floor cannot have a lot of varied textures. It can only have the one flat Quakis chose and Sky 1 as floor textures. So yeah, I think Quakis decided to be quite different here when not mapping under a limitation, though I think he handled the limitation excellently. Yeah, I seem to remember my blind one thinking I wasn't going to die, and then it's like all the monsters came back out of the graves. Or they're visiting their own loved ones, I don't know. Maybe I can still pull off a deathless one now I'm blind here, who knows? Certainly the outside will be a little bit less dangerous when there's fewer imps around. And also when that revenant falls. Because, I mean, what was it, like only a minute or less ago that I took a hit from a revenant rocket? I guess I'll say this is a setting that would be probably be pretty hard to depict in 50 Shades of Graytall, although I'd honestly be interested in if anyone ever took a stab at it. Is there a way I can get to where that armor is? Nope, at the moment it seems elusive from both directions. I just noticed that there's door track all over this lift, even though it's really just purely a decorative decision at this point. And yes, even though this level is called Withering Graves, we do move outside the graveyard itself. Oh, yup, I knew when I couldn't get that demon to go down, I was gonna take a pelt. But that should satisfy Steve if he's still watching. That time I managed to evade and get back to the outside. Just like concrete flagellation, there's outside area and inside area, which ain't a bad way to make a level. Unlike concrete flagellation, it seems most of the work to make it look good is with actual textures as opposed to some really good shadowing attempts. Although there are shadows where they belong in general, like the light from the outside bleeding into the inside. Yeah, and I guess you could call Graytall concrete. I didn't think of that in the name concrete flagellation, but yeah, Graytall kind of is concrete. Gray concrete. Which a lot of concrete is gray or grayish. Oh, I saw that secret. An unmarked tripwire to open it up. And there's even some caves behind the graveyard. Oh no, you don't get a pelt off of me. Guess he was gonna try too. And another one. That one I'll chalk up to my reflex speed, because with another half a second that last chain gunner would have gotten a pelt off of me. And thankfully I was able to pick off that shotgunner that I could barely see. I don't remember how many pelts I had in my blind run, but the video is still there. I know it wasn't peltless. Or like, I'm 99% remember it wasn't peltless. So yes, there's still good lighting where lighting fits. And there's still some use of door track among all other things. Although it seems used pretty regularly, all things considered. But that was one of the coolest makeshift switches I've seen. Certainly the neatest one so far in 50 Shades. I mean, quakis really made that look almost believably like it was a real switch. texture. Oh, I guess there's more than one dead man still in some of these graves that come back to life. Oh, I can't go there! There's hit scanners everywhere there. And that teleporter doesn't give me any relief, really. Maybe I can pick them off before they get a shot at me. Yup, I did. Actually, it would have probably been better to use a chain gun to pick them off, but shotgun ended up working. Sometimes it's fun to watch me narrowly escape death, so can I narrowly escape death? After all, I really would like to not have to die in the graveyard itself. I did have a death, but it wasn't in the graveyard. Only 3 monsters left. And I don't hear any left outside, so I guess it's gonna be inside the cemetery proper. Oh yeah, I don't think I'm just running to that exit switch without being challenged by something. And I don't even remember from my blind one. I mean, my memory is still kind of nullified out somewhat from that time frame. So I've less of a clear memory of this map than you think I might from something I played only 18 months ago. Well, that was one of the 2 remaining monsters. Still, the other 2 are gonna give me this is probably a setup of some kind. Can I avoid being attacked by a fireball? No. Yeah, it's a lock-in trap. And I have to fight it. There's no flight. It's all about finding room to keep circle strafing so I can evade these fireballs. Definitely different from concrete flagellation, where once the exit was visible, you could just walk right on in. Of course, after picking up the blue key you needed to access the exit, there was still plenty of fighting to go. Yep, we won't see what's any deeper inside this cemetery. We'll just exit the level. Another good level that actually didn't remember what I think of it at the time because, well, I just don't have the best memory of Doom levels I played at that time, and I Hope that's understandable. And they did manage to get a couple of pelts off of me, even not being completely blind to it. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do enjoy this video or my videos in general, then please always feel free and welcome to leave comments. Always highly appreciate them. I do also take requests, so you can feel free to leave them. I'll give a sub link in the video in the description, and also links to some other recent playlists in the description. This is Kakon1 here, and I'll be back later.